As a Christian, I've heard many people say to me, Jesus never claimed to be God. Well, I want to look at the evidence in the gospel stories themselves. Is that true? I'm going to do a series of videos fact-checking whether Jesus claimed to be God. So this time I just want to look at the one thing, which is Jesus claiming the authority to forgive sins, which is something only God can do. First of all, in the Jewish prophet Micah, chapter 7, verse 18, it says, "Who is a God like you, who pardons sins and forgives transgressions?" So it's a poetic, rhetorical question he's asking, but it's really obvious. There is none like God. Of course, only he can forgive sins. And we get exactly the same idea even in the Quran. Surah 3:135 says, "And who forgives sins except Allah?" That's really clear. Only God can forgive sins. So let's listen out to this story in the Gospel about Jesus from Luke chapter 5. Some men came carrying a paralysed man on a sleeping mat. They tried to take him inside to Jesus, but they couldn't reach him because of the crowd. So they went up to the roof and took off some tiles. Then they lowered the sick man on his mat down into the crowd right in front of Jesus. Seeing their faith, Jesus said to the man, "Young man, your sins are forgiven." But the Pharisees and the teachers of religious law said to themselves, "Who does he think he is? That's blasphemy. Only God can forgive sins." Jesus knew what they were thinking, so he asked them, "Why do you question this in your hearts? Is it easier to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or stand up and walk? So I'll prove to you that the Son of Man has the authority on earth to forgive sins." Then Jesus turned to the paralysed man and said, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and go home." And immediately, as everyone watched, the man jumped up, picked up his mat, and went home. So in this story, the religious leaders get really angry because they know only God can forgive sins, and to claim to do that is blasphemy. Now, Jesus at this point, he could have easily cleared up any confusion. He could have said, No, you misunderstand me. I'm just a prophet. I'm saying God forgives this man." But he does the exact opposite to that. He says, "I have the authority to forgive sins," and he proves it with a miracle. So here in this story, Jesus does something only God can do, forgive sins, and the people around him understand that. So here, that's our first piece of evidence for Jesus' claim to be God. And it will get more obvious and more explicit as we go through.